So let me just start the recording. Yeah, welcome to this second cohort of Global Leadership Mindset Development Program. So I have started this program roughly, or the first cohort roughly 1 year ago, with simply not nobody, but with some people I know. And then I contacted Georgine, and also Chris joined and Marina joined. And now we developed different programs for students like today, for professionals, and also perhaps later for senior executives. So my background is I'm German citizen, so my last name is pronounced Ruby, so forget the H. First name Jörg, okay, is typical German or Nordic European. On the topic of global mindset, I started actually 10 or 11 years ago, and developing it further also by research. So I lived also in 3 countries abroad, not as many as Chris, perhaps when he introduced himself later, but in Ireland, in Austria, in Brazil. Perhaps some of you have seen, my wife is on my profile, and now in Mexico. So all different, even Austria is a different culture than Germany. And I think that a global mindset is some kind of success factor. Global mindset does not, you cannot develop it overnight. At the end, it is a lot about interaction with others. And what the program is about is to get a little bit more aware of you. So Germans are trying, or most of them are trying to be very punctual. It's part of the culture. So you got triggered a lot in the school or everywhere you are, you must be on time. At each bus station, there is a clock. At each, in the university, sometimes teachers are closing the room when you're not on time. I experienced that. And so this is something very deeply anchored in the German culture. Punctuality gives respect and also trust. When we talk about also building trust. So my best friends would even leave when we have an appointment, and I would not say I'm coming 50 minutes late. They would go. They would go to a different place, or they would go home, and I know them for 25 years. So, so this is very relevant, but this is a German one. What we are doing here is that you will get different interactions. You will have group work, you have individual work, we have breakout sessions. And at the end of this 12 weeks, you also need to do some kind of reflection report. So I will also go through some slides. But at the end, it is when I'm doing it with simple words. So what is a global mindset? A global mindset is something like you are aware of your culture, but you also need to move. Everybody needs to move one step to the other. If you always say, I'm the one which stands and the other one needs to move, it's already that there might be conflicts or misunderstandings. So I'm telling you what to do in order to develop a global mindset. I mean, we have some cultures which are proud of their cultures and which might be perhaps not adapting to the other one, but I'm telling you what is most relevant. And we have different scholars, different lecturers, we have consultants, we have coaches, we have trainers, all in our team, and from different countries. And the point is that the German thinking might be completely different to the one from India or Mexico or Honduras or Chile or wherever, Ukraine, wherever you are coming from. But the point is, try to reflect on it. Try to see what are your values and how much are these values also related to your country, to your culture. Culture determines behavior. I was yesterday 15 minutes before they say the bus is going to the airport. I was the only one. No Mexican was inside, nobody. And 15 minutes later, I asked, hey, it's 12 o'clock, where are the others? Am I in the wrong bus? No, the people came too late. Or they say we go at 12, but 12 is just to say that people arrive half an hour later. So this I need to learn. But I said, what's going on here? And then the people said, yeah, we don't know where. And I said, yeah, but we have met 3 days here in the bus and people said, we don't know where to meet. So, I mean, these are all professors. Yeah, anyhow, no, so I was a little bit confused, but this is where I need to adapt, because I cannot tell them, the Mexicans, what to do, how to do, and to be on time. So my colleague, when she picks me up, she's never on time, never. In Germany, you would say, hey, what's going on? After the second time, you would say, I cannot trust the person. But trust is built differently, on a relationship based, and perhaps not so much on other parts. But this is what we are going to tell you. So I also have these issues. My wife is from Brazil. My family is from, also her family is, my family is from Brazil then. And this is also a lot of difference. So I have a day to day, and I'm also struggling. And I also don't know sometimes what to do. But the point is also not to see that you are the center of the world. And this is sometimes difficult. So today we have also some members of the team. It's Chris Clark. I met him in the executive program, and I think he is very beneficial because of his experience. I mean, you know that I'm a lecturer. I also have some experience on my own, but we also have practitioners. And Chris Clark has an excellent career. Now, I mean, now he's a little bit gray-haired, but at the end, we can learn from him. And because he worked in multinational companies, in German companies, in United States companies, he knows what it is. And he knows cultural differences because he was doing sales. And sales is always to locally adapt. So when we talk about the global mindset, we always need to think about also in some case of this global local dilemma. So we have some things which we need to standardize in order to make money or in order to roll it out. And some other things we need to locally adapt. Perhaps Chris, just only 1 or 2 minutes, please introduce yourself and give us some examples of global local dilemma in one of your last jobs of washing powder. I mean, Henkel. I mean, when I'm going in Mexico into a supermarket, I see Henkel. This is from my hometown in Düsseldorf, in Germany. And they are all over the world. And we have Chris here. I mean, so we have a history because he knows Düsseldorf. I'm from Düsseldorf originally. So tell us something about your job. So how was it to adapt products, not only the price? I mean, some of you might know product, price, place, promotion, but tell us something about the job of a salesperson and one of a global sales, because you did not only do it in 1 or 2 regions. Yeah, yes, please. Just shortly introduce yourself. Global local dilemma.
Okay, I'm rarely short, as you know, but I will try hard. So my name is Chris Clark. I'm a member of the faculty. I welcome everybody to the program. And I have a background that is both as an academician. I earned a doctorate degree, and then as a practitioner, I spent 45 years traveling the world. I would get on planes and come back 6 weeks later and visit maybe 10 or 15 countries. So I could say a lot of exposure to the question of cultural interface. It's not easy to understand and to interpret culture. And this course will teach you some of the techniques on how to interface with different cultures around the world. You're going to be in teams with different cultures. You'll see this firsthand. And so we'll walk you through a program that is designed to elevate your awareness of the unique differences around the world and to, moreover, embrace them. Many people that experience culture differences are in fear or don't fully understand how to react, and therefore it becomes quite challenging. So this course will help you in that regard. I will bring to the course my practitioner experience. As we get into particular areas, I can talk about how business is different in Europe than it is in Asia, than it is in the South America region. I have lived on 3 continents. I'm from England originally, from the UK, from Manchester, Northern England. I've lived in a variety of places in England. I've lived in a variety of places in the United States where I now reside, as you can see from my picture, Arizona, which is a desert state, if you will, very dry state. And I've also lived in Asia. I spent 2 years managing a joint venture that became a wholly owned subsidiary, and I managed a team of 160 manufacturing products. So I will bring as much experience to the program as possible. And I, again, thank you for participating.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Chris, so I mean, you can also interrupt us. When you have a specific question, feel free. It's not just that we are giving a show here and you are not participating. So, I mean, professors, they like to talk. I also like to talk a lot, but you also can interrupt us and to ask questions, because this is because you are our clients. You are interested in this international business job. So feel free always. I mean, perhaps you must highlight it or raise your hand. And when I'm talking, perhaps I cannot see because now we have 4 screens here, but do it. You are here to learn. You are here to learn. And this is what we give you. We try to give you the best learning outcome, and that you say you had a great program. When there might be some day or sometime a problem with the platform, so be patient. We are going to solve it. Now we also must learn from your experience that you said, the interface is not good. So we are not Netflix. We start by scratch. We do the second program here. We do also the second professional one in October. So we are also learning. So we have a win-win situation, hopefully, that you will get something to learn, we get something to learn, and to make it a really good program. Yeah, perhaps Marina is also being part from Argentina. Perhaps she can also introduce herself. I met her in the executive program. She was a participant, but she will also do a session here on sustainability. But yeah, now it's up to you to talk a little bit. And then we have Georgine perhaps later, because these are 3 or 4 from our lecturers, I would say. I mean, we will have every time others, but that you also get to know some of the people which are already included today. Yeah, please, Marina.
Hi, everybody. I'm Marina Lavilla. I'm from Cordoba, Argentina. I'm really excited to be here. It's fantastic to see all your faces. Thank you very much for being here. We are going to try to connect around the world and the cultures and know each other. And thank you to my colleagues. Thank you, York, Chris, Georgine. You're amazing. I have had the opportunity to listen to them, and they are amazing. So I hope that you all can. It's like, you deserve to listen to them. So pay attention, because they are amazing. And you can share your social network too, and connect with other in the classmate, in the LinkedIn, in Instagram, on Facebook, or the social network. But we need to create these global citizens, and I think we're going to make it. So thank you all for being here. And I'm glad for me, it's amazing to see you all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Marina. I mean, Marina is always like this. She's not smiling now because of introduction, but it is her personality. So it's always positive, and it's good to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah, Georgine, I mean, tell us something about your name. People might be saying, okay, United States, but who are you?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm originally from Hungary, Budapest. That's where I was born, and it's a fantastic city. So if you have a chance, please visit. There is a lot of history there and culture. So my background is basically international business. That's where I started early. When I was growing up, I learned foreign languages, so I speak multiple languages, including some German, but not so much. Like, obviously, Dr. Hubi is more fluent. But because I was preparing for a career in international business, in foreign trade, actually, I was traveling a lot, and I studied in England, and I also went to Germany while I was living in Hungary, and eventually I immigrated and came to the US. And so once I came to the US, I started working in the corporate world in New York and continued to do international business. So I was a foreign trade representative, and I was dealing with all kinds of products, but mostly contracts and negotiations. So I have background in product and project management, global clients, and also staffing in terms of HR and positioning in terms of professional consulting services in global settings, like turnkey projects and international joint ventures. Eventually, I moved from my executive role to teaching, and that was a life change. And so I changed location and I started working in higher education. And I have taught in different states, and I lived in different environments in terms of culture in the United States. So for me, because my background growing up was city living, I also experienced other Midwest societies in the US. And so my role in terms of teaching, it's basically leadership development, international business, and multicultural, intercultural inclusion. And I'm involved in leadership coaching, which is another outlet, and I do a lot of research. So I'm interested in your points of views, and I think that as long as we are open to understanding each other, we have a lot to learn. So it's a lifelong learning experience that my mission is to really help people to continuously grow and reach their potential and try to understand each other. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to experience that. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Now, I was just, when you talked about it, I was just thinking about one sentence. And this, I think, I don't know if it came originally from Brazil, but I have heard it, that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we need to listen. And this is perhaps something which I also keep in my mind. So this is sometimes very difficult. I mean, also the professor must listen to the students, and you also have some different approaches of teaching. Some of you are coming from different areas. I don't know if you also have from India students right now inside, or if this functions or not. But the point is that the education system is also sometimes very different. So in China, it's a little bit more top down. What the professor is saying is the rule, is law. And when you go to Netherlands, the people will contradict you, and they will talk to you and say, what are you going to say here? That's not right. So it's completely different way of education. So in some cultures, a professor has more power, I would say, when we take this power distance view from Hofstede, and some others not. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I will start this with a couple of slides. We also will present the learning platform, and you can take a look at this recorded session. We will put it into WhatsApp, not all the time, because when you register in the platform, you put everything inside. And perhaps you have even seen, oh, there are already 11 or 12 videos from the last cohort. So when you're curious and you say, I mean, for sure, we are trying not to do the same again, like the same slides and everything. But when you're curious, you could already look, okay, there's something about mindfulness, something about building trust, so whatever you like. But I'm telling you on the next slides, what is mandatory and what is perhaps something you can say, like this live session, you can see 92 people. So we have roughly 200 registration, perhaps a little bit less. You can see that some students are absent, and this is not mandatory. But this is here that we are trying, perhaps not today. Today we will do one breakout, but we are trying to have 2 breakout sessions every week, that you get connected, that you interact. This is the most important thing, that you can see different viewpoints. It's good to listen, and it's good to have 2 ears, but it is also relevant that you are acting, that you not only understand and reading a book and listening, but that you're trying things. And there will be conflicts within your group work. It is programmed because of different time zones and because of misunderstandings. It will happen. But this is a program about. It is about to see what people talk and what people do is sometimes very different. And it is not that the people don't show integrity. It is also a cultural aspect. And this is always what you must be aware of. But when you see also this quote here, so without experience, you cannot change. So culture, I cannot teach you. You must experience it. I can teach you different models, but at the end, international business is people business. So you are interacting the way of how you talk, how you pronounce. Now I'm also thinking mostly in German and then translating it. So the way I speak, even when I'm speaking German and my Mexican said, oh, it sounds like you're aggressive. But this is the way the Germans are speaking. And when I'm listening to Russian or perhaps Ukrainian language, I would also say, oh, it is a dark voice. And it is also a different interpretation from me. So, and this is something perhaps which you must be aware of. And at the end, to look at what is your mindset? Where do you come from? Where are you raised up? What was your school environment? How did the professor teach you? How were your parents to you? More authoritarian or not? And this is something you must be aware of, not today, but hopefully after 12 weeks. You will not go out with a global mindset. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But then you must perhaps have a career like Chris Clark or some others in 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 countries and living in different ones, and not only in this Western oriented. So, but this is something you will develop, and you always need to reflect. You will get feedback from others, and you also need to listen, because a global mindset is also perhaps related to a growth mindset. You can Google what is a growth mindset. So there is some research from Stanford about it that said, some students think they have talent, and everybody said, oh, this is a great player. I mean, look at our Mario Götze who shot the goal 2014, and everybody said, oh, this is the 100 years kid and the biggest talent. What happened? Everybody said it, and then he said, okay, I'm a talent and I don't need to practice. And then he fall down. After we won and he did the one goal, he fall down. I mean, he never had the same success as at this time, because he said, I have a talent. And look at, I mean, people like or don't like Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's the first going and exercising and the last going home. And this day by day by day, and everybody knows he has talent, but he's further improving. And this is a growth mindset. So sometimes when you get also negative feedback, try to think about, oh, the one is more wiser, the one also would like to support me, to help me, and try to get also a positive message, because people know a little bit better. Like students get a bad grade and they say, oh, how could this happen? I'm going with my parents there and blah blah blah. But also try to listen what the teacher is telling you. It's not everybody against you, and this is a growth mindset. And this is also related a little bit to global mindset. We always need to learn, to relearn. I need to learn every day here in Mexico, a lot of cultural differences. When going to Brazil, the same. I need to switch again. So, but this is what people which are in this global leadership or leading a multicultural team. I mean, go to Amsterdam. When you work in Amsterdam, you have 10% people from the Netherlands, and 90% come from all over the world. So we have virtual teams. The German society is very multicultural. So I was raised up with people from Turkey, from Poland, with people from Greece, from Italy. So, I mean, this is in the society. And we also, in Germany, we need the migrants. And we are also happy for the Ukrainians coming now and to support our economy. Because to stay strong in Germany is, we must get migrants, because the Germans don't have enough kids. Okay, just this as a background. So what are we going to do? So we have 12 weeks, 12 times the lectures like today. Then we have a learning platform, and most of you have registered with success, without, but we will get everything done. And you also have, so we have 12 lectures and we have 12 skills. It doesn't mean that both are always aligned. So 12 lectures and 12 skills. But the part in the learning platform, this is there that you will receive your certificate. And you don't need to do 12 skills, but you need to do 10 skills and a reflection report. So, I mean, you all received the syllabus, and I don't want to go through the points here. I mean, most of you hopefully have read it, but it is like this. we're trying to look at cross-cultural differences. We look at different leadership behaviors. We look at different theoretical models. But in the learning platform, there is also a lot of practitioner-oriented. There's something to read and to answer, to read and to answer, to listen a video and to watch and to answer. So you always have a reflection question where you need to type in, this is your homework. And when you did your individual learning, then you go into the groups. And for the groups, we already organized it. We already organized at least 5, but you will have at least now 6. You're with 6 different cultures because also we have received more students. And then we need a team leader till Sunday. I know that for some groups, when 2 or 3 people are joining, I know that it is going to be complicated to raise a team leader. And we will make a WhatsApp group for the team leaders because we want to communicate with the team leaders and they communicate with your team. I mean, it is good that you send me some messages, but you can imagine I cannot answer 150 people a WhatsApp. No? So the point is, when there is something in the platform, go to your team leader and the team leader goes to us. And this is what we're going to solve quite fast. So what is the structure of the classes? So we have 12 lectures and 12 skills. Now, so once again, we start today with some basics. We move on next week, also with a little bit more on global mindset. And then we have always different, different topics, mostly 2 lecturers and 2 breakout sessions where you connect. So we try to do 20, 25 minutes input, and then we put you into breakout. But this is randomly because we want you to work with others. In the learning platform, you stay 12 weeks with the people you now already contacted, and hopefully most of them are reachable, and that you have this in the learning platform. When you come here, you will even get to know different people. And also, or you can look at on demand, like you can see it is recorded right now. So these 12 skills you must do in the, so 10 of them in order to receive a certificate, but you can for sure move on because we have 12 weeks and you can say, network, team building, and the other one we are doing. But we now, it is also time you are investing. So roughly 4 to 5 hours a week. Now, it's because you have your individual learning. So we start with develop global business knowledge. Perhaps you might even have access. But this we can look when Chris Clark is later sharing his screen. And you need to do one skill after the other. You cannot jump. You will not see these 12 skills. You will see 1 or 2. And then when you finish it, you can see number 3 and 4. And then you finish it, and you can see 5 and 6. So don't get confused when you say, I don't see 12 skills. You don't see it because you must do, this is mandatory, one after the other, step by step by step. So first you have an assessment on the competence, 7 to 12 questions. According to the assessment, you got your personalized learning material. Dimitri gets other things than Chris, than Marina. Everybody gets this, what you need to improve. It's not about to get 100%. This is not reality. I and perhaps even Chris has not in all skills 100%. It is the wishful thinking. No, because we have some strengths and some weaknesses. But the way what we are doing here is also a learning mindset. It is to improve. It is to go through the material, and you will have all 200 people or more. You might have the same skills, but you have different learning paths because of what is your background. So we specialize the platform on what you need and what you need to do to raise the level. And as I'm telling you, nobody goes out with 100% here, nobody. So this is an illusion, but you are on a learning path. You develop slowly, step by step, a global mindset because it takes years. And you also must have a specific position like Chris, have the opportunity to do global business. Not everybody is taken, not selected Now, because you also must have a good track record. It's not only about good grades. Sometimes you are in the wrong company where you cannot make a global career. And this is what we also will talk about today about this. Reflection report. This is nothing you need to look and read now. This is after 10 weeks, you start with it. But I just wanted to give it to you. This is 10 skills and this report of 5 pages. That's, I'm not going into detail because it's not now relevant, but you have it in the parts. So what I would like to do, I would like to start the session with a hopefully interesting video. Let me check it, that I get it, and then or are there already some questions? Is there something which we perhaps would like to know?
And if you have a question, if you'll raise your virtual hand, the virtual hand, because we have multiple screens and we can't see all your faces. So if you would go in and use the raise hand feature, that will also populate you to the top so we can see who you are as well.
Okay. Yeah, so just concentrate on the video here. Perhaps some of you might know it. When you can also raise the hand, Chris, if the sound doesn't function, but we tested it, but let's try it. Now, if something is there, raise the hand, then I can see you, and then I need to readjust it. Okay, go for it, 5 minutes.
I'm proud to be English. My family have served and we've defended this country and we've been to war for this country.
I'm really patriotic about Bangladesh.
Well, I am 100% Icelandic, yeah, definitely.
This is a Kurdish wedding with my mom in the traditional Kurdish clove.
We're just proud black, so that's it.
Yeah, I think we are probably the best country in the world, if I'm honest.
Think about other countries and other nationalities in the world. Are there any that you don't feel you get on with well or you won't like particularly?
Germany, yeah. I'm not a fan of the Germans.
You might think they're a little bit...
Particularly India and Pakistan, probably, because of the whole, the conflict.
Because I have this side of me that's like, that hates Turkish people. Not people, but the government. But French?
No. We're just best, it's just fact.
I'm more important than you. I don't know you, but in my opinion, I am strong and I am more important than a lot of people.
How would you feel about taking a journey based on your DNA?
Yeah, I feel very intrigued.
What could you possibly tell me that I don't know?
So do you know how DNA works? So you get half from mum and half from dad, so 50% from each of them, and they get 50% from their parents, and back and back and back. And all those little bits of your ancestor, they filter down to make you, you. I need you to spit in this tube for me. You spit up to the little black line.
That's a lot of spit.
Right, the story of you is in that tube. What's it gonna tell me?
It's gonna be, oh yeah, you're French, and wait, your grandparents are French, and wait.
100% Bengali.
Solid Iraqi.
I'm Cuban.
You're gonna tell me that I'm English, like I've told you.
Jay, you come down and join us?
I'm a little bit nervous, I have to say.
So you ready to find out your results? Will you read it out to us, please? Wow, look at me.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. Shit, I didn't expect that.
All of them.
Whoa. No.
Caucasus, which was Turkish?
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece.
I'm 32% British.
What? Great Britain, 30%. Can we 5% German?
I'm Irish.
Yeah. So I'm a Muslim Jew.
Great Britain, 11%. Are you sure these results are mine?
Eastern Europe? Seriously?
Iceland has definitely moved closer to Europe now.
I'm gonna go a bit far right now, but this should be compulsory. There would be no such thing as like extremism in the world if people knew their heritage like that. Like, who would be stupid enough to think of such thing as like a pure race?
In a way, we're all kind of cousins, in a broad sense. In a much more direct sense, you have a cousin in this room. Turn around and guess who it is. Waj,
Yeah. What's that?
why don't you come down here and meet your cousin?
God, this is amazing.
Did you know that?
I didn't know I did. This is like, my heart's pounding right now, I swear to God. We met.
I'm Jay from everywhere, but whatever to this.
I'm a real man of the world.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. So would you like to travel to all of these places?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me share again. Now I can see your faces. Okay, wait. What comes into your mind when you see this video? And the course is about global leadership mindset development. So now you can raise your hand and you can give your voice. I know it is quite emotional, the video. I did the video in several cultures and see the reaction a little bit better than here in the classroom. But yeah, please raise your hand and give me some of your voices. Or Chris, do you know this video? Or Marina or Georgine?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Have you seen this video before?
I have, yes.
Okay, you know it. And
Yes, me
Marina
too.
and Georgine, you know it also?
No, I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, what is your
But-
impression? Perhaps we can ask you and then also
Yeah.
the students, please.
Well, it's always revealing to find out your background. And so what was interesting mostly is how they started talking about their nationality in a certain way. And so there was some assumption and personal bias, but that's understandable based on their upbringing or whatever experiences they had. And to find out really who they are, everything was so surprised. So it really shows that openness to accept all kinds of differences is important, because we don't really know the other person and we might have so much in common. Like I really liked, and yes, it was a very emotional type of approach. And that's what I think the message is, that we have feelings and we have thoughts, and when we start out with negative perception or whatever is not open or positive, then it's kind of reaffirming through our experiences, we kind of reaffirm our personal biases. But if we have more of a non-judgmental way of looking at life or people, then we can learn and we can become friends, we can have better relationships, we can be happier actually, just living our life. So yeah, this is just a wonderful example. So I think the video is a big success, and so we all learn from it. Thank you for showing it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Georgine. Yeah, just have some voices from the students. No? So perhaps we have somebody from Chile or somebody from Honduras. I'm not picking them, and but perhaps you have also some kind of, I mean, you have expectations about the class. Now you can see, oh, there are many cultures, and I would like to be. I have seen the LinkedIn post. Now we're curious about the program, but tell us something about. So now you get this video, and give us some of your voices. So feel free to take this as an opportunity, also to introduce yourself. Yeah, it's your stage. So for you as students.
In order to do that, you can go into the status bar and go into
Catalina from Argentina. Okay, please.
Hello. I really liked the video. I didn't saw it before, haven't seen it before, but I knew about the test. And I really like this idea at the end that we are all citizens of the world and not like from an exact country, and to be open-minded, to relate with people, to really know them, and not concentrate in these negative things that maybe we think they're negative about other countries, and to concentrate in the things we could have in common, or at least be open to know the other people, to build bridges with them. So I really like the idea of the video, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so you must say Momondo is a travel agency. They did interview all of the people, and this was just an excerpt of 5 minutes. You can even see more. You can even see it in Spanish or in other languages. Okay, thank you very much for your point from Argentina. Yeah, so now comes Mexico. Santiago was the next one.
Yeah, thanks. So I actually have seen that video many times before, and I actually got more in depth and research about how that genetic pool investigation functions. And there are some things like that video has a little been criticized because it genetics function a little differently, so you cannot exactly know where your genetics work. But what I wanted to say is that even if you want to research a little more about that and you find that, I think the message of the video is pretty clear.
What is your background? What is your background? I mean, you have Mexico here, but tell us something when you already did some research. So where do you originally come from?
Yeah, it's difficult to know where I'm from.
Okay.
My family emigrated a lot.
Okay.
They come from Spain after the Civil War, so they emigrated here to Mexico. But I also have family from Mexico, and I also probably have family in the Philippines, also family in the United States. So yeah, I could be from anywhere in the world. So
you're a global citizen.
Yeah, I don't really care where I'm from, but I know that I'm from many places. But yeah, what I wanted to say is like, even though like there's some contradictions, the message of the video is clear. Like, there are no people that are from a single place, because you can even trace everyone to probably Africa or Asia if you go down to the most in depth, you know. So it is not the best option or mentality to be chained to the place you are living in.
Thank you. I like the comments, no, because you also was aware not only of the video, but also that you're trying to find out about where you're coming from. Yeah, Costa Rica, Jose.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, basically, it is interesting how we live in a society, I think, that has established so many like stereotypes, I would say. You know, huge events around the world and around history, like the World War, have established these stereotypes that let some people know that they are superior in a kind of way. However, I like this video because, you know, some people might feel like they are the best or greater than some other people. And who knows, that person that you are like bullying, I would say, or humiliating because his race or her race might be your cousin. So it's very funny and very interesting how well also science has contributed to this. But yeah, I just wanted to share that how I would say, yeah, it's funny for me, you know, to shut down those stereotypes with this video. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your comments, Jose. No, so if anybody would always like to comment on what somebody said, you can also say it, or you can also talk a little bit. I have something no, when you directly want to respond to somebody. Yeah, Brandon Lee.
Well, first and foremost, good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And what comes to my mind after having watched this video and making a correlation to the global leadership development, I think it's so important to overcome these barriers, especially when it comes to like nationalities. In business, we need to overcome it and not see people as belonging to a nationality, but belonging to a world. Like, we're all human. And I think it's so important to overcome this in order to do a successful business strategy. And I think it's really, really important to let go of our biases and to be objective when it comes to business, especially in the international sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go so much into detail right now, but you must imagine, you can ask yourself how you perceive me as, I wouldn't say a typical German, because I also lived 15 years outside Germany, but you all have an interpretation, a perception, or what you have listened in the news about Germany. And now you have within your team 5 different countries. And you would say, oh, the Germans, they are punctual, they are honest. And the other one would say, no, they did tell us something different. And even if it is in Europe, I mean, I was I was joking in the last time in the executive program, because we have always this European championship in this sing contest, Eurovision, or however it's called, no? Eurovision. And the Germany is the last years always the last place. So even if they are good songs or not, but what I'm telling you is, be also aware that others in your group could perceive a country like India, perhaps, because they will join also your groups, completely different. So how you perceive a country is not the same like somebody from a neighboring country perceiving them. So be aware of that, because when you are a leader or a team leader or a global leader later, you also need to take into your mind, oh, this is somebody from Chile, but Chile is different to Peru because of, even if they are perhaps neighboring countries, or Argentina. And this is something like most of you, I like always comparisons with soccer, but when you can see Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola, they are leading a multicultural team. And how to motivate a person from Spain could be different to motivate a person from Germany or from Italy or from Brazil or wherever. And this is something you later must take into consideration, and not just saying, I'm leading the German style, I'm leading only the Mexican style. Because the world gets interconnected. It's about people business. I'm repeating it. International business is people business. And you must get to know of how to motivate different members of your team. But you must be aware of the cross-cultural differences, because not everybody is the same. No, but this is something I would like to talk to you. We will talk about this also later. So when we start a little bit with, let me check the time. I also need to be focused. What we can also do now, because I think it's relevant, that Chris Clark is going to share the screen in order to look at the learning platform. So Jose, you still have raised your hand. Is there a question or? No, okay, all is fine. So Chris, before I start with some slides, perhaps we take each other 10 minutes to go through the platform, because we know that for some people, it's, I mean, you're all digital natives. no, I also needed to explain it to Chris. He's not a digital native, but we are going through it that you understand what to do. And when you don't get a registration or don't get a code, we will handle all of you. So don't worry, you have time till next Sunday to finish the first competence. It's a lot. But perhaps, Chris, can you please share your screen? And then we go through your profile because I don't know. So you're also joining a team then, Chris, in the group work?
Yes, I'm happy
Then we
to
need
join.
to put you. Perhaps, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can assign me to, I'd like to, during the 12 weeks, visit as many teams as possible. If
Okay,
that
I
can
can
be
also do
done.
this, yeah.
I think that's would be important. First, let me say this. As I was introduced by Professor Hubry as the person with gray hair, which I take as a compliment because in my way of thinking, gray hair means that you have many years on the earth and hopefully many years of experiences. So I came out of the analog world, which means we, from my upbringing, didn't have the digital formats. I'm now operating in the digital world. And it took me a long time to move from my analog world into the digital world. So please bear with me because sometimes I am digitally challenged. So I will attempt to now share my screen, which should be coming up. Okay. And then if we go into, so correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Hubry, this is the platform.
Do you need to refresh it, or is it still open? Perhaps sometimes we raised this to 30, 35 minutes. We also raised it higher, and then some of you might have experienced, oh, I cannot get access right now. So we raised it, I think we had it for 2 hours, and then we see that the system had some trouble. But it is, I think, half an hour or 1 hour, you can do it and not without registering again. So just for you to get to know. No? So it was not possible more than 1 hour because it's also a safety concern. I mean, when you are in a room with 20 people and somebody's doing some things that you're, so this is also relevant to mention. It's not only about the system. Okay, so we are in the system right now. So you got, hopefully all of you got a manual. If not, then please ask Christy to send it to you. So now let's go through what, so you have the view of a participant and not my view. So please tell me what you understand here.
You would like me to do that? Is that correct?
Yeah, go from the top down. No? So we have the video concerning the program.
Yeah, so you have to enter the program through the link, obviously, and everybody should have the link. If you don't, then please reach out to us and we will provide you with the link. Let me get rid of all of my various personal icons here so I can speak only from, okay. So now what we have here is an introduction video, which you can review. It covers a lot of the subjects that we were talking about. And then into this portal, there are many different folders and activities. And what's important is to understand how you go about the navigation within this, navigation within this. Many of you have operated with similar portals for your universities. I teach at a university where we use Blackboard. I also teach at another university where we use Canvas. So the interface is somewhat similar and hopefully it's intuitive. However, there are challenges. So if you go through each of the drop-down boxes, you can open up a background and then there'll be some information to read. General information. Possibly you've already seen this in some of the communications that we have made. You then go through what are the topics? We just discussed that. So 12 weeks, 12 competencies, and each one builds as a building block on the other. By the time we finish with the 12 competencies, we should have a good foundation of the principles and of the competencies that are what we consider the most important to have. So after that, we have a course here called the structure. And the structure is where we talk about the various parts of the program. And so it's a little bit of a read, but I would encourage everybody just to quickly go through it so they understand the parts that we're going to cover during the entire 12 weeks about globalization and about human resource management. We're going to have experts talk on that subject. So many of those things are explained here, and you can feel free to go in and just review it. Becoming familiar with this platform is important, because if you're not familiar or you're not comfortable with the platform, you'll struggle. And we don't want that to happen. So please, as Dr. Hubry has mentioned, first reach out to your team leader to discuss what questions you have. And then, of course, maybe sometimes the team leader doesn't know. I mean, it's a learning process. We're all going through that process. So when that happens, then the team leader will reach out to us and we will go through the explanation. And for sure, if you still are not able to fully understand, then reach out to us directly. And hopefully, though, the process of working with your team leaders will make this an easier process. And then you come to what the outcomes are and what is expected and how the grades for the course are. So you can refer to that information. And then you come into an area.
Open the assessment calendar, because this is relevant.
Yeah.
So you have each week a competence. So these are the most relevant things, these 12 competences. And the day is here, we will change it due to 17th of July, due to. No? So in this case, today is the 7th, and you must finish individual and group learning till 17th, because then on the next day, on the 18th, it will open strategic and critical thinking, and not before. Not before. You cannot jump one after the other. No? So you have always, at the beginning, you have more days, like you can see. You have 10 days now, or 11, but then you have a weekly, because you're getting used to it, you know how it works. And then you have 1 week to do individual learning and group learning. But you all have WhatsApp. The main issue is, how do you organize your group parts? You will get a Harvard case and you need to answer it. And you need to answer it with 6 people. And then you might say, oh, but one of this culture doesn't work, is doing nothing. And always, like we say, it is a free rider. No, I mean, we always have this with students with group projects. You know it yourself better. Now, some people are saying, I would like to get the certificate, I'm doing things, and some others as well. But the way is, how do you handle these conflicts in your group? And this is so there will be conflicts, and this is relevant because, and when there might be too many conflicts, like we have specific coaches which are doing it for 25 years. They are also giving a session here. So do not hesitate to say, 1 or 2 people, they are doing nothing, highlight it to us. Highlight it to the team leader. And also when there might be problems with the team leader, you also can raise that. So everything which gets under control, not more under control, that you say the emotions are popping up, consult us. We don't expect that, or perhaps we expect that in 1 or 2 cases, but not in 50 groups. But if this happens, please directly do it. I'm giving you one thing. In teams, cross-culture teams, the most important thing is when there is a conflict in the room. This needs to be solved before any other work is going to be done. So spend the time on these issues that you say we need to solve it, because if this is not happening, of any part, religious, I don't know what kind of problems could there be. But this is the first thing to solve. I'm giving this advice for your future career. You cannot look over these, because this will stay all always like an elephant in the room. So please remind this, and we have professional people doing it for very, very long time, and this is their job of being an intercultural coach. Okay, this was relevant to highlight. Okay,
Yeah,
yes, please, next one.
I think just to your point, what's important
Yes,
is
please.
that we encourage challenges within the teams. We don't want you to just be, can we call it quiet and okay, I'm listening to this person on my team. I don't agree with this person, but I'm not going to say anything. Well, this is the wrong approach. The right approach is to be open to listening to points of view that may be different than yours, and then to ask questions to make sure you understand what the issue might be or the conflict might be, and then to work to try to resolve it within the groups. This is what happens in business. I spent 45 years managing teams around the world, and I found that there were some teams that were not happy, but were not expressing dissatisfaction because they didn't feel they were comfortable doing that. So in this course, we want you to feel that it's okay to be uncomfortable. And that's a learning process. And that helps develop the skills that will be taught throughout the course. Okay, so next we have that one done. Then we move into the surveys. And Professor Hubry, I think I'm going to have you walk through that. I'm going to open it up so we can go into, if I can open
the
it
survey
up.
you did not do so far. So please,
Yeah.
so what is your motivation in the program? Start the survey.
Yeah. So I start to survey. Some of you have already done this, and here it's quite simple to check the boxes.
It's just in the beginning. We are just curious.
Yeah.
So finish it. Finish it. What is your motivation?
So yeah.
No. You must click one. You must click one.
I must click one.
Yeah, you can see it. Otherwise, you cannot.
Okay, so what is the motivation? And that would be okay. I'm always curious. I'm always curious.
Curiosity is one part of a global mindset, like openness.
Yes.
Confirm.
Okay. Yeah. Confirm.
And now I receive an email from you that you did something.
Good.
Okay.
So go back to the repository or the collection. So I click on that and we go down here. Then you have survey to collect demographic data. You open that up.
And you did it already.
I did it. See, I'm already ahead of the curve there. Okay, so go back. I think we go back by one step backwards here. Hopefully it works. Yes. So that needs to be completed. Yeah. And then there's a FAQ, frequently asked questions. So this page is under construction and will be updated. I don't know if we go on here, Dr. Hubry, are we able to see it?
Look, if already something is inside, I think he said, the IT guy, he said, let's take a look. Courses, is there something?
Not yet.
But this will be there. You will put a lot of FAQs. Now you will look if somebody asks, and then, but he's doing it continuously. So when there is something, oh, I cannot go here inside. I cannot do this. What is relevant for you is not the FAQs, but go more down. I mean, we go step by step. Go more down, down. Because there's something like how to support. This is the most relevant thing for you to go on to the support if anything doesn't work. The web link support. This is what we need. It could be that somebody said, oh, my one works, the other one not. It is sometimes also in the program. But what do we need? We need your name, your login, and a photo. And then the IT guy will write you an answer. So don't put a screenshot to me and say, Mr. Ruby, it doesn't work. And because then I might receive in a week 5 or 6 of those photos, but I cannot do it. I'm not the IT. But always fill it out and always give your name, because then the IT can look into your system, what is your problem right now, and to show it up. And then it will be solved, I would say, within 16 hours. So not 24, but 16 hours. So, and not tell me after 2 hours, oh, Mr. Ruby, I did not get any response and now I need to finish it. I cannot do it. We must wait for the IT. I mean, in the future, we might have 24/7, but currently not. But we are improving it and we have less problems in the platform. I said only if there might be a problem. It is not that everybody said we have all problems. No, so, but this is not writing me something, and perhaps also not your team leader, but write to the IT. This is something which is my personal account and my problem, and then he can look it up. Okay, so please go back.
Yeah, the other thing too is just for the acronym, make sure everybody understands acronyms. Sometimes they are confusing. So LMS stands for Learning Management System, LMS. And you probably have that at your university or colleges. You probably heard of
Canvas,
LMS.
Blackboard.
Yeah. Okay. So
so go more above, because we just a little bit more above. Okay, well, FAQs we had, files. What is in files?
Yeah.
How to complete the competence. Oh, this is one of the most relevant things. Now, open this. This is what he added yesterday. So you are going now into the learning journey, and you start with global business knowledge. And in this manual, Jens is his name. He shows you step by step how you go through one competence. He doesn't show you all 12, because after the one, you know how it works. And then follow this manual. Now you got a manual to get access. Now you have a manual inside of how to go through individual learning, group learning, and so on. Okay, so everybody can open it. And I mean, I'm recording the session here. You can also look it later if it might be too fast. Okay, so then close it again. So this one is new. This one is for you, a manual to go from first competence to the second one. Okay, videos. Here are videos. I think 11, I need to look for the 12, but from the cohort in, when was it? In March, April. Or no, January we started, January. So here you can see Elizabeth and some others. No, but if you are curious, you can look at it, some different sessions. Okay. So here we will add the video, what I'm doing or what we are doing right now today. It will be uploaded also here. In this time, I will upload the video also at WhatsApp, but in the next time, you always see it is uploaded in the system. Good.
Okay. Then
go back from videos. What other things are there? So videos. Okay, videos we had. Now comes the forum. What is a forum? A forum is a way of that you can interact, that you can introduce yourself also for the others. So go on competencies discussion, please. Okay, so when we see the first rubric here, the first one, new forum members and self-introduction, we have 14 articles and 61 visits. Here you can introduce if you like. So this is nothing is like you don't want to introduce. You first would like to look. You would like to build up trust, and then you say, now I'm sharing my parts. What you also see here is experience reports. Experience reports about a course. I mean, some of you might know it. I did it, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago. 14 reports. You can see how people get along with the program. You can read some other voices. It is for interaction. What you also can see here is the 12 competences. And we also have reports here, like, for example, click on self-awareness. This one, the next one, self-awareness, E1. Or willingness, or it doesn't matter. Click on this. Click. So the point is you can see of how others did develop themselves on this specific competence. It is a report on what they did. I have made it anonymous. I got reports also from you that not anybody would say, hey, I've read your report and why did you struggle with this? So for us, it's also relevant that your privacy is also protected. You decide what you would like to make public or not. But at the end, there are some reports where you can improve, where you can learn, where you got a step-by-step approach. They said, I learned from this text, I learned from this video, there I improved with my interaction. Stories to improve these 12 competencies. Get out of your comfort zone. I think Chris said it already. It is very relevant. Now, so in order to learn about something new, we are feeling not comfortable, uncomfortable. This is a word what he was taking. So, and this is relevant because otherwise you will not change. You must go in specific situation outside your comfort zone. How far you go, it's up to you. I mean, we have fear. Now, many people have fear to talk about in front of people, but this is normal. I had it, perhaps Chris, Marina, but this is something when we say you would like to make the profession, we are oriented, we have an aim, we have a road, and you cannot do everything fearless. And this is an illusion. So you must be feeling like you're sweating, your knees, you don't feel comfortable, the ground is breaking up. I had all these issues also, and it's terrible, but it is a way to go through. And the same is to learn new competences sometimes. So be aware of this. Nothing happens overnight. And we are here to support you on your next step, on your journey. You can see many reports here. So yeah, I think, I mean, you can see my name because I have uploaded it them. When you would like to share it, then it is your face there. But I did it because it is anonymous there. There's no name mentioned in anything, and so that you can understand it. Okay, so many others, 12 in total. The name with D8 and D4 and F13, this was what I classified on different competence. It's not so relevant for you to understand it. I mean, there are some cognitive skills, A, B is emotional, C is cultural. So I can also send you the Excel file when you said, what is D14, why? But stay with the title, networking and building the things. This was for us because we have 100 skills in the platform and we provide you 12. And we provide the professionals in October 12 different ones. So we hope that when you make a career and they said the program was good, after 12 weeks, we have a professional program, people with work experience. And when you say after 15 years, oh, what did you develop? We even have a senior executive program, but this is something we develop step by step by step, passo passo, people say in Portuguese. No, so nothing, like I'm repeating, nothing happens overnight. No, okay. Yeah, here we have developed global business knowledge. Oh, look, can you press it? Yeah, you can press it already. What do you need to do now? Oh, you got again something like you would like to join. Would you like to join, Chris, or not?
Absolutely. Join. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, join. So what's going on now? Oh, you got an assessment. Can you open it? 7 to 12 questions. What is your global business knowledge? Start the test. We are going through the first competence. Now we can see what your level is, my friend.
Should I do not at all?
You do what you do. Be honest. Be honest like everybody. Be honest. I give you some time. Do it.
Yeah. I think one comment I make is that if you start to go around the world enough times as I have done, you always come back with the sense that you don't know it all. You never will know it all. It's
so what would you say?
Cumulative for me. Well, I think I have a large extent. So I will never say I have, you know, the most. And then
very
you will
large.
go to the next.
Okay.
And
but
so
do you think it is a cultural issue also that you said not, or about your experience? I mean, there might be cultural factors. Some people think they are superior, like we had this in the discussion.
Yep. Yep.
From one of the students. Okay.
Yeah.
Next
so
one.
I think you can go through this, but I don't think we need to go through all this now, do we?
Okay. So what I'm telling you is now you have these 7 to 12 questions. After that, you will get a percentage, like you have 50, 60, 70, 40, 90. So we put in from 0 to 50 a low level, but low doesn't mean you get now a bad grade. The low means you have still improvements. You are at the beginning of your career, or you have between 50 and 80. Then you have a medium, or you have over 80. So you got different learning material on the level of your competence, and you are doing your own journey. And we don't evaluate you on, oh, this person has 20%. Okay, I mean, it is how it is, but you are here to learn. And this is what we want you. We want you to have your own learning journey and your own things to improve. Now, finish the test.
Now, what kind of a grade are you going to give me?
Yeah, let's see. The system gives it to you, not me. Here it stands, 0 to 50 is a low level. Oh, you got 80%. So in this case, you have here, continue. No, so here it was written from 0 to 50, from 51 to 80, from 81 to 100. So with 80%, you are in the medium because you don't have 81. Okay, so let's take a look now. Maximum point, 75, 75, 75. Okay, go more down. Okay, so now you got the medium, the high. So the high you cannot enter. The high is red, no, because it is only with 81.
Yep. So this becomes.
So Marina, are you still there? Let's take a look if Marina is still there. So where do you need to open up now your learning material?
Oh,
no?
Learning materials. Learning materials. Completed. Okay.
So go back. So now when you don't know, where would you like to look, Chris?
Hold on.
There is also a manual. So now students needs to go in the manual. I receive my results. I have a low level, a medium, or a high. So this is your task now to check where do we find this test. The test is in the learning platform. There was a question. So when you got registered, and perhaps, I don't know when you joined, but you will see it in the video. We recorded it. So in order to start again. So Marina, he has 80%. How will he get now his results? He's a little bit confused now, but what is the next step?
We need to go to the results and then to go back.
Okay, so here are the results, 80%. So now scroll a little bit more down. So where do you find your learning material?
Down, down. Yes, you can see in that part that that is the response, but you need, if you go back, this is the detail, but if you go back, you can see where you need to find your homework. No, go to the course, please. Thank you. Now, down, please. Little one, more.
Down, down, not up,
yeah,
down.
I'm adjusting my.
Down. So, other resources. Yes.
Here you have the group work. What's the group work?
You have two options. In this part is group work that is not available yet because you didn't do the personal task that is all for you. And so you need to, in this case, go or to high or in the acumen that is medium, in the part, in the blue one. Yes. So you can push, please, the first one. Yes. And in that part, push again. Yes, click in that part. So you're going to find, in this case, a web page. You need to read that, and then you can write 500 or until 2,000 characters about that, respond to that question, and then you can do the edit text. And in that part, you can write in there, or you can write in the Word and then to copy and paste, for example.
And what happened when you have 50 words and not 100? Then you must write more.
Yes.
Then you must write more. No?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You have
so Santiago, you have a question.
The wiki. We can explain the wiki later.
Yeah,
Santiago,
so we have to do both the medium and high activities.
Yes. So when you have
Okay.
the medium level, you have medium and high.
Okay,
Because
but
then you need to learn more.
Okay, we do not just do the high, we do both the medium and the high. Okay.
When you have low, you need to low, medium, and high. You have even more because you must learn more when your competence is a little bit is not so sophisticated, let's say like that. But what is normal? No, so we also have professionals and some others, they also start with 40-50%. So be honest, because it is your learning journey. No, I mean, when you say I want a shortcut, you do every time 100%. You got 1 or 2 readings and that's it. But you don't have a takeaway because the text getting more complicated, the more percentage you have. So one is more basic, the other one is advanced, and the last one is professional. So each of the text is according to your experience. So it doesn't make sense when you don't have experience, because you will also not understand the text then, because it is very sophisticated. Okay? And then when you did all the individual learnings, more on the bottom.
Yes. Yes. Please.
Then
put
you
it
are
in
allowed
bold.
to do later the
Yes.
group work, but only when you
Yes.
finished it.
In that part is going to appear that it's going to appear that you are in a group, you can join your group, it's like that.
Okay.
When you're finished the homework, the personal homework.
So be fast, always with individual, because then you have more time with the group work. When you do everything at the last day, the other group member would say, what's going on here? Now you joined, we are already done. And you can do it 1 or 2 weeks. And then the people will say, something is not okay here. Some cultures are more direct and some others less. When we would have people from the Netherlands, from the Germans in your group, they would be very direct that you did not do your part. It might be in Latin America, where most of the countries are coming from, different. But this is what will happen. So be fast with your individual learning in order to have more time with the group. Okay, so I think that we can close this if there is nothing very, very urgent to talk. I mean, you can go again. So you got global mindset. So start there from the beginning again.
Okay, hold on.
Dashboard, global mindset, and go. No, you got a registration code. Go to global mindset. Here you have recommended. But I think we have it all in the manual already. How to go, and now we have the manual of how to solve the first competence. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Then let me share again the screen. And let me move on with one of these topics that we also will find some time later to have a breakout session. I mean, it took a little bit longer, but it is how it is. But let's look about some specific points.
Can I just jump in before you start? One comment that I'd like to make to the students. It would be wise and prudent for you to go into the platform and just start to, shall we say, play with the platform, meaning click on the boxes, open them up, so you get a familiarity with what is in there. And then as you practice going into the different sections, you will get more confident, more comfortable. And when you do reach a point where you still are not able to understand things, then you reach out to the team leader. A team leader will either respond directly to you, or the team leader will respond to us, and we will take care of answering the question.
We also will give you, I can see some mistakes on the slides, but we also will give you a mentor for the groups. And the mentors are people and students which have already done the program. So we also give you a team leader, we give you a mentor, and we give you a coach. So the mentor is there to help you in the learning platform, some question, because they did already the program, like Marina was now giving her her experience. And also we give you professional coaches. So everything is there that you feel comfortable in your learning journey. Okay, so let me start with at least one model today, and that we have a breakout session, and that you also will get to know other students, because this is what the program is about. But I think it was relevant in order to show you everything and to have a good start with the program. So I mean, perhaps you remember that I talked a little bit about the global local dilemma. And this global local dilemma is a little bit also like systemized. So there are two professors, Bartlett and Goschal. I don't know if both of them are still living. One was at Harvard, the other one was at INSEAD, so one of the elite schools you perhaps know. And what did they do? They did do research, 5 years. And they did check at some kind of variables. They look, where is it more relevant to look for global efficiency or global standardization or global integration? You will see it on the next slide. So this is one axis. And the other one is, where do you need to adapt your product? What about local responsiveness, local adaptation? And what about, where does innovation comes from? So we have 3 kinds of variables, and we look about what is the relationship from the environment on the strategy and on the organizational structure. It sounds a little bit more complicated than it is. So here we have a classification of companies. You must say that these are ideal typologies. So some of them might even have overlapping of international, multinational, global, transnational, but we classify it to make it more simple. I'm giving you now an example. So all of you know Harley-Davidson, and most of you perhaps know Nespresso coffee. And perhaps some of you might read the text of Moet and Chandon, this champagne. This is a product which is very much located by the production in a specific place. So Harley-Davidson is selling the American dream. When they have subsidiaries in Mexico or in Europe, they just transfer some of the competences. But the people in the United States say, oh, we want this design, we want this specific way of how to drive. And then the Mexican said, yeah, but the streets are not so good, and in Germany it's different. The people say, okay, but take it or leave it. I'm a little bit exaggerating, but that you can understand it. The same is with Nespresso. Nespresso sells coffee. And I was 3 years ago visiting Professor in Sao Paulo, and I've drunk Lungo, the same as in Düsseldorf, or the same will be in Mexico or in Ukraine, anywhere. They have the same product range. They are not locally adapting. I mean, some of you might know Ford Mustang, so they have a different European model because also of gas and oil prices. I mean, I don't need to tell you anything about this right now, but normally they have a product which they selling or exporting to other countries. So this is called an international. They are low on global standardization or global integration, and they are low on local responsiveness. But now let's take a look at, for example, what is classified as a multinational company. Multinationals. So we have Unilever, we have Walmart, we have even McDonald's. I have later a case of McDonald's, or we have Cemex. So Cemex is a Mexican company. They have different cemento in different countries. In Dubai, it's very hot. And when you go to Alaska, it's very cold. So they need to adapt it. The same is in food industry. In some people even say retail doesn't cross borders. Heinz has in Indonesia different different ways of ketchup than also in Brazil or in Mexico. I mean, Mexico, everything is quite spicy. I can tell you something. And I mean, I'm asking and everything is spicy, but the Mexicans say, no, it's not spicy. But when they say it's really spicy, then I will better not try. So the point is that Walmart has a different product range in Mexico. They might have some parts which they have from the US, but mostly they adapt. Look at, for example, also Zara. And you would say, oh, I know Zara, I'm buying the Spanish company. But they also have, because of different seasons, in Germany, different ones than perhaps in Spain or in Mexico and Brazil. So this is very much high on local adaptation. So these companies have a different product range. And when we go now to this so-called global companies, Adidas. I mean, Adidas has the same shoes all over the world. I mean, perhaps they are produced in China, but the research development is in Germany, and marketing will be done by United States or whatever. But they are optimizing their value chain. Look at Boeing, look at Airbus. What are they doing? They're doing assembling, but they are buying the seats in different countries. They have a cockpit. So different things come from all over the world. And they are trying at the end to do a product which is very much standardized. Look at the company Burberry. Burberry had a strategy 12 years ago as a multinational. They had different products in different countries. But their main product is this trench coat. And this is what they are producing now in Great Britain. They are having star designers. They had 4 or 5 worldwide. Now they have everybody in UK. Back to the roots. They had bags. They had issues for dogs. They said, hey, reduce it. We have the main product. And then we have companies like Siemens, Daimler, Volkswagen. So Volkswagen has different cars in South America. They have Volkswagen Gol, G-O-L. You will not find in Europe. The Daimler trucks in India are completely different to Europe or even to South America. You have Siemens. They have Medicine Technique in Southeast Asia. These products you will never see in Germany. And this company comes from Munich. I mean, they are active in more than 200 countries. So the point is that they have this global local dilemma. For specific markets, they need to find a way of also offering this car and to sell it a lot. The Volkswagen Gol. And what about this also Onyx? What is it? Chrysler Onyx, no? The brand. And this is also only in Latin America. It's not even in North America. And the company is located in North America, in the United States. Now, so you have, in some of them, you have a different dilemma, a global local dilemma. And all of these 4 different kinds of companies needs different mindsets. So when you have a global mindset and you go to Harley Davidson and say, please do us a German model, they would say, hey, what's going on here? We will never do it. This is our strategy, is to do everything in the headquarters, and this is in the United States. And Nespresso will also not say, are we doing a specific taste for Peru or Bolivia or Argentina? They don't care. They don't care. So you must think about, I mean, at the end, they might have perhaps supply chain and some other parts, but the thinking of this company is very much on their own. It is called ethnocentric. So you have an ethnocentric strategy in Harley Davidson and in Nespresso. When you are, for example, McDonald's, you can see different kinds of burgers, if it is meat, if it is, for example, also chicken. I mean, they also have different ones in Brazil. I mean, I see it. So they are very much locally adapted. And who can better sell a locally adapted product as a local person? So at McDonald's, Mexico, it's better to have a Mexican in the boss. This is called polycentric. When you are in Rome, do it like the Romans. And a lot of companies failed. A lot of companies in this multinationals failed. I have it on the charts later. You can look it up. And they all have international business students and graduates. I mean, at the end, it is also to be flexible. Dunkin' Donuts was so flexible in India, and perhaps we have some Indian students here. I don't know, but tell us something about Dunkin' Donut. What is Dunkin' Donut or Dunkin'? Because they changed the name because they're not offering donuts in all countries. Perhaps we have somebody from India here. I don't know. Let me know. Is there somebody from India today there or in the next session? What is Dunkin' Donut, Dunkin' offering in India? Not sure if we have somebody here, but if not, then perhaps they might join next week. They are offering burgers. And you would say, hey, McDonald's, Burger King, and Dunkin' is offering burgers in India. You can validate it next week when we have the Indian or you have it in your team. You can ask them. They were so flexible that they even changed their business model because they said the Indian market is relevant, but we are not going with our head through the wall. We would like to stay here. And Walmart paid in Indonesia a lot of money to be active. They made presents for Indonesians. And you would say, oh, this is corruption. Yes, this is corruption. But Indonesia, it has a population of nearly 200 million or more, I think more, 270 million. And it was very relevant to enter that. So what we can see is we have an ethnocentric with international. We have a polycentric mindset with a multinational. And now we have the so-called global companies. And global companies are also sometimes active in different regions. So we have a regiocentric mindset. So what is a regiocentric manager? EMEA. What is EMEA, Chris Clark? What is an EMEA manager? What does EMEA means? EMEA.
EMA. European. Okay, Europe, Middle East, Africa is the acronym. Europe, Middle East, Africa. For
what other positions do you know of this
APAC,
regional
APAC,
manager?
Asia, APAC, APAC, Asia Pacific is another. APAC is another term that multinationals use.
There are 27 of these abbreviations. The smallest one is in Germany, this so-called so Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So they are giving one. Then you have the Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. So you always have regionals. So all of these companies, many of them which you see, are not even active all over the world. They are multinational players. I mean, you know, this Fortune 500. Okay, so regiocentric, they are in different regions perhaps, and we can classify them as global. And then we have the transnational. And now you need to listen. The transnational is a lot called geocentric mindset or global mindset. So, or global mindset. You have heard perhaps everything. Geocentric, global mindset, global mindset. So here we need people which are coming from Wolfsburg in Germany and going to Latin America and say our trucks needs to be adapted like that. Our trucks needs to be adapted in India. So they need to think about, the headquarter makes pressure, they want to earn money, do a standardized product. And they said, no, we need to adapt it to the local market. The people have smaller cars in Brazil, not in Mexico. Mexico, I've seen big cars, I can tell you, but in Brazil, Onyx, Goal, and specific other ones, which perhaps in Germany are not buying anybody because also they do start with a Polo, Volkswagen Polo, Golf, and some others. Now, the most sold car in Germany is Volkswagen Golf. And the most sold car from Audi is Audi A4. Now, for example, so it's a different standard. I think you can understand it. So the point is that within this global local dilemma or global mindset, these needs a lot of people. There's a lack of global leaders on the top right. at Siemens, Vodafone, Caterpillar, Daimler. So what has Daimler? Not only Daimler-Benz, they're doing many more things than only this passenger cars. So we have 4 different kinds of companies, and we have in this case also these kinds of also industries, perhaps you can say. No? So beer, I mean, beer, you can say, we know this Heineken, we know this global brands, but look at Germany. They have 5,000 different breweries. In my hometown, we have 10 breweries, 10, only in my city. No? So the point is that, how is it organized? So we talked about strategy now, but how is it organized? When you remember in international wars, Nespresso, Harley-Davidson, Moët and Chandon, what are they doing? They have a very strong center, United States. Where's Harley-Davidson located in the United States? Where's the headquarters? Do you know it, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's Indiana.
In Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana.
They decide everything. They decide everything, and then they say, oh, we need to train our people in Mexico. We need to go to Europe. We have a new innovation. So the innovation comes from the headquarters. This is here, the dark blue. It is centralized. It is coordinated federation. The top down, they decide. Let's take a look at the multinational. What about Walmart? And Walmart is something like, oh, the product in Mexico are different. Or the chef of McDonald's said, yeah, but we are selling more Big Macs in this country, and we decide not to include another burger. It doesn't make sense. So these are like, I'm comparing it to you, these are like, this is very much decentralized. And as long as these countries do a good job, the headquarters doesn't care. I mean, they're caring about financial issues, but it is decentralized in the multinational. Go to IKEA, Germany, you must be German there. And they changed it. At the beginning, they only sent Swedish people. And they get to know it doesn't work. And the same is with McDonald's. And the same is with Zara. And all of these local adaptation products. Let's look at global. Airbus, Adidas. They have a center. And they know exactly what to buy where. What parts of the value chains is spread. And then they say in India, oh, we can also help you with marketing. And people say, no, no, no. IT is your business. You do business for the whole company, but you are only IT. You're not doing marketing sales. We have our own people. So they are also top down, but they know exactly what's happening in the world. They know the prices and they buy here, logistics there. So they are looking for efficiency. They look for standardize the product, make it very efficient. And then we have this transnational. And this is also some kind of ideal model. But where's the headquarters? Oh, I cannot see dark blue. Yeah, because in best of the cases, Medicine Technique from Siemens said, we are going to handle it. And then there is another center of excellence, perhaps in Silicon Valley. And said, okay, we are handling innovation. And then there is another center, the CFO is then located in Hungary. So, and they learn. This transnational is a global learning organization. So what works in Germany might work in Argentina. If not, we also need to be flexible to think about where does innovation come from, and not only from Germany. I told you where Siemens is doing Medicine Technique and some other parts, not in Germany. And Siemens Healthcare is located in the United States and not in Munich. So this is the point. It is an ideal model. It is called a globally integrated network. And some companies, they jumped, they developed. Let me check if I have one of the slides here or not. If not, then we do it in the next week. But let me go back. I thought I have it. Because you can see that companies are going from one model to the other one. Samsung started as an international, only in South Korea. Then they said, then they get to know, oh, we're going to Japan. but in Japan, the washing machines are bigger. They would say in Japan everything is smaller. No, even the kitchens are of different size than to South Korea, and hygienic issues are also different. So they needed to apply, and then said, "Oh, now we are good in the Asian region, but we are not a world company." Look at what happened. What was happening? So also to Apple and how they raised up. So all of these companies, they changed international, multinational to transnational, or international, global to transnational. Not all of them are transnational. And I'm giving you now a message. Not everybody in these companies needs a global mindset. Not everybody. People which are acting or interacting a lot with cultures, it is better. I'm giving you here now something to read. Giving you 3 minutes for each page, and then we take the example of McDonald's, please. Please go through it. Okay. Going to the next one. Yeah, Chris, you are already raising. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to add to that slide one example that I can relate to. I worked in the food industry, so I have a lot of experience. I launched many products in Mexico, and in the future classes, we can talk about how I did that and what were the learnings, what worked, what didn't work. But I'm going to share my screen for a second because I want to show everybody something that relates to the topic, which will be this one here. Okay, if everybody can see this, I think it's interesting because we're talking about McDonald's. And as you look at McDonald's in different countries around the world, this little picture kind of represents the diversity of how McDonald's operates in terms of global supply chain of their ingredients. And you can see here, and to our Ukrainian students that are joining us, this one is about the global components of a Big Mac. I think most people know the Big Mac in Ukraine. And so this little article kind of shows where the sesame seeds come from. It's Mexico. Where did the pickles come from? Germany. Where does the special sauce come from? Also Germany. The bun, up through about 4 months ago, was coming from Russia. So now, just on that topic, immediately the first thing that happens with McDonald's is they have to resource product because Russia right now, McDonald's has closed down. So then they move to onions, which is from the United States. The beef patties are from Hungary. The cheese comes from Poland, the lettuce from Ukraine. So as we look at the world of multinationals, and I was in the food industry, sourcing comes from all over the world. So we are connected in many ways through supply chain. That was my comment.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this fits very well. I did not know that you had an example of McDonald's when I'm showing it here. But okay, so let's focus again on this. And I'm sorry that we have today, or that we do a little bit of overtime, because I want you to connect with people. So give me 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm putting you into breakout. I know that we are more than 2 hours. We are trying to restrict it the next weeks, always 2 hours. I apologize for that, but it is an initial session, and the learning platform is very relevant. So once again, if you can stay longer, if you want to stay longer, but we will try to keep as good as we can in the 2 hours for the next weeks. I cannot promise it, but and we are trying. We try our best, that you're not saying, okay, we always do overtime. Okay, please read this one here. Okay, if you're finished in 1 minute, then I will go to the next slide. I mean, hopefully you all have it there, the slides. I put it in the chat. I can also upload it here. Okay, so next page. And then McDonald's is the text to read for you is over afterwards. So, once again, I would like to go back. What we had, a multinational of McDonald's, but learnings from Australia about coffee, learnings about fresh food from France. So they also have some transnational component. Yeah? So perhaps in this case, you could see that the learning does not always come from the country, but also this is what is at the end relevant. So look at, for example, like L'Oreal. And you know, L'Oreal, you know, the beauty of women is relevant, and also it is different in different countries, what they like, what color, makeup, everything. And they also have developed a so-called 2-in-1 cream in Asia. It is a whitening cream, and it is against, for example, and the sunblock. And this they only developed there, but this ideas then they took over in Europe as well. So the point is that a company is not doing everything new in a new country. We need also to look at this efficiency, integration, and this is very relevant to be open and to learn from other cultures inside your company and to see are there some documented cases about it and these points. So, I mean, this one, you know market responsiveness. Only this more slides, and then we do the breakdown. So we have what is now relevant for you to understand, because Chris also said food, and food is local, and food is culture bound. What you eat in Germany is different to Mexico. I mean, we have a lot of Mexican restaurants, but I don't think you will be disappointed when you go to Germany and you will hope you get the same spicy taste. I must disappoint you. They're adapting it to locals, and the same is also with our beer. I told you 5,000 beers in Germany, but we also have some very global brands. But when you see, for example, it is not here on this chart, but luxury products, culture free. So the same 911 Porsche, the same Louis Vuitton bag, and any others should be the same globally, but they are also in this area of culture free. I mean, okay, in Dubai, everything is possible to pimp up. I think I don't need to tell you anything, but normally you expect with luxury products the same quality and service even if you are in different countries. I mean, it could change after sales service, perhaps also. Chris has something to say about this. I mean, IKEA sometimes also have different strategies in different countries, but I think that this is mostly the thing which I wanted you to say. Failing, a lot of failing. Go on that, since it was my earlier boss. I only picked out some of these. Barilla, also not everywhere successful. Donuts, and for Russia, with a specific cream, a specific taste for the Russians, and some others as well. No? So also this style pulls out of China. So work very good. What about Barbie dolls? To sell Barbie dolls with blonde hairs and American looking to China, you would say, okay, perhaps this is not the best idea, but they did it. And then and then they were disappointed that they didn't have success. Okay, I'm sometimes a little bit provocative, but in order that you perhaps understand the message. So we would like to put you in 20 minutes out to these breakout rooms, or is there anything which is perhaps right now to be asked? I'm sorry that we have overtime. We still have 86, perhaps. Like I said, next time we are going to do it differently, but perhaps we can organize. How many groups do we organize, Marina? What do you think? 85, 12 groups?
Yes. It's time to meet to each other. Please put your camera on. Don't be shy. You're going to improve in your English. I did it. Chris said to me that I get better every day.
You absolutely do.
Thank you. He's a magnificent mentor.
You're too kind.
Please try to explain yourself to not only your country. It's an introduction, a little one, but trying to speak all of you in your group, at least to say hi and different things that your opinion about it.